Changing paper in the paper tray on your imageRUNNER DX is a straightforward process. If you're only changing the paper size, then the machine will automatically adjust based on the paper loaded. Here we're changing paper drawer 2 from A4 to A4R. A4R is required when printing A5 booklets. Open the drawer and remove the A4 paper. Adjust the guides to their maximum extents. Place the paper into the drawer and then adjust the guides to touch the edges of the paper and close the drawer. You can check the paper is detected correctly by touching the status monitor button, then selecting the Consumables Other button. You can see that drawer 2 is showing A4R paper. If you are changing the paper type when loading a new paper, in addition to adjusting the guides, you will need to inform the machine that the paper type has also changed. This is because the imageRUNNER will use different settings to print depending on the paper. For instance, cardstock needs to be fused at a higher temperature to ensure the toner sticks to the thicker stock and does not smudge off. After loading the paper in the same manner as previous, touch the Settings registration, Preferences, Paper Settings, and then select the drawer that you have changed. Press Set and then select the type of media you have loaded. Check the paper packet to determine the GSM of the paper and select the appropriate setting. If you are using a stock that does not appear on the basic settings page, you can select the detailed settings for a full list of supported medias. Please note that not all media is supported in all feed locations. Consult the user guide for your model to determine exactly where you can load specific media. Potentially you do not want the machine to automatically select this paper drawer. Rather, you only want to use this drawer when you specify it in the printer driver or on the control panel. To disable the automatic paper selection, touch Settings Registration, Function Settings, Common, Paper Feed Settings, Paper Drawer Auto Selection On/Off. All the different mechanisms for receiving jobs are displayed. Select the job type. Here we are selecting Copy Jobs. Select the drawer containing the media and set it to Off. Depending on your requirements, you may also need to disable the tray for all job types. Don't forget, if you change this paper drawer back to plain paper, you need to repeat the above process and register the drawer as plain paper. If the paper you are loading is envelopes, there is an additional specific video covering this topic. If you are loading letterhead into a drawer, then there is an additional setting that you should change to ensure successful printing. Firstly, you should load the letterhead as per previous. You will need to check the user guide as to the correct orientation of the letterhead. Inform the machine that you have loaded letterhead using the previous step. Note that not all machines offer a specific letterhead paper setting, in which case select the paper type and weight that corresponds to your letterhead. You probably don't want the machine automatically selecting to use letterhead. For instance, when you are printing plain paper and it runs out, you don't want jobs to continue to print onto the letterhead, so you'll want to disable the auto selection for that drawer. By default, the machine feeds paper in the most efficient way possible, but does not consider the side of the paper that is printed first. When printing on letterhead, we always want the machine to consider the side of the paper when printing. To change this, we need to select the Feed Method setting. Touch Settings Registration, Function Settings, Common, Paper Feed Settings, switch Feed Method, and then change the setting for this drawer that we have our letterhead loaded into from Speed Priority to Print Side Priority. This will ensure that when printing either double-sided or single-sided, that our letterhead is printed with the odd page number on the letterhead side of the paper. This concludes this video.